Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the final table of the Poker Atlas Tour main event here from Texas Card House, Houston. DT in the booth, joined by Shanice. How you doing today, Shanice?
I'm great. This is going to be a super fun lineup. I know it already.
We got the final nine remaining of almost 1,000 entries. It was like 996 for
It
this.
was a fantastic turnout. Thank you to everyone that played the entire tournament scene of Houston. Felt like everybody was here at least one of those days, giving this one a shot.
It was a $600 buy-in, 300K guarantee. We smashed it over $500,000 in this prize pool for this tournament.
Oof.
As we jump straight into the action with Ed opening Jack 10 off and Bad Boy waking up, just calling the Ace Queen off in the small blind. Probably wanting to induce a shove by Levi, letting Ed keep his range really wide. Bad Boy still best with Ace Queen high.
Definitely, we're used to seeing him in the streets early and late stages of tournaments, playing pretty aggressively. So, little,
More calculated, not what we're
yeah.
used to seeing from Fu. Does make the call correctly here with Ace Queen high. Both have a club in their hand, and Fu and Ed both like seeing that 9. Ed likes seeing the 9 because it makes his Jackson and 10's much more likely to be live. I'm gonna go for another bet, and now Fu, you're gonna go nowhere. If you thought he was good on the flop, he's definitely gonna think he's good on this turn. Big bet. Oh, Jack on the river. See if Fu can get away from this.
Yeah, a little bit of an unfortunate river. Had the best hand the whole way here.
I don't know if he's going to pay this off if Ed goes for 3 streets. It's going to be hard for Ed to think of a worse hand. I would imagine he'd really want to bet really small here. Target a hand like pocket 8s, pocket 7s. Goes, yeah, small, goes a third pot, bets a million, gets snapped. Bad Boy losing a pretty substantial pot. 5 million chip pot. We're at, I believe, 150K blind levels, big blind levels. 100 or 75, 150, 150.
Yes, we are. And just like that, the chip leader changes. That's how fast this table could potentially be.
No one coming in this particularly short. Bad Boy was the chip leader. They're around 51 bigs coming in. Ed and Taylor both having in the 40s. So there's plenty of play. Levi, the shortest of the stacks, just sitting at right under 10 bigs now after that hand. Gonna need to make something work.
Yeah, it
Ethan,
could be tough for Levi. The button draw not doing him any favors, kind of only getting one free hand before the big blind comes.
let's see what these fine players are playing for. Up top, we got $84,680 plus a $2,200 tournament seat. In addition to that, I'll talk more about that in a second. Ninth will be going out with at least 85.60 for their troubles. Either we go 994 entries, $506,940 in the prize pool. Some big money up top, but the additional seat will be a $2,200 entry into the Poker Atlas Tour Championship this year in December in Las Vegas at the Venetian. That is a $2,200 buy-in, 2 million guaranteed tournament, and the winner of this tournament will get a free entry to that. So that's pretty nice.
That is a great addition from Poker Atlas. They've been running great tournaments all over the country and looking forward to seeing where they go next and seeing one of these players hopefully run deep in that tournament as well.
They've had no traction in the small blind. A walk with the 6 deuce off. That's gotta feel great.
Best you can hope for when you're
Yeah.
short stacked in the big blind.
Plenty of seasoned poker players. Lots of Houston familiar faces here at this poker table.
Yeah, absolutely. If you've been playing in the tournament scene, you'll recognize quite a few faces. Some of them, a lot of industry folks at this table, so you may have seen them in suits or on the other side of the table as well. And Sean, I mean, just like 3 for these live stream final tables. I saw him as I was walking in. I hollered that he's Steph Curry with the shot right now. He is,
Doing quite well for himself lately.
yeah, 3 for 3 final tables in a 2 week span is really, really tough.
Deuce is mucked. Always feels bad when you see a pair go down, but I mean, that's in tournaments when stacks are this short, deuces do not look very good unless you're the chip leader.
No, absolutely. As soon as you get called, you're sweating.
Levi, king 8 suited on the button. This just is a pure shove. Yeah.
Hoping to get folds here.
Let's see what Ryan wakes up with. Dominated, that's... You can tell he saw the king first, and then the deuce, but it's suited. Now making a decision. King deuce is going to be ahead of actually quite a bit of the hands that Levi's shoving. Levi should be shoving hands like 7-8 suited, 8-9 suited. A lot of those middling hands, even a hand as weak as Queen 10, Jack 10 offsuit. All the hands, and he gets called, looked up. Levi in great shape for a double up here. Just needs to dodge a deuce or hearts. That's a flop.
All of the hearts.
Now
Not
they're
all of them.
flipping. And just like that, Levi will be out. That is unfortunate. It's in real good, and then the hearts get there.
Yeah, that was a close spot for Ryan, but makes the call a little bit behind, catches up on the turn.
Willing to gamble for that, and now Levi will be taking home 85-60 for his troubles. Good run by Levi. On the shorter side, large portion of the tournament. Make it this far is still pretty big feat.
Yeah, absolutely. I dealt to him a little bit during his run that he bagged, and yeah, he was definitely fighting. Caught some premium hands, got paid off, and was able to survive a tough Monday as well.
Now our 8th place finisher will be the first 5-figure prize receiver at $10,340. Pay jumps are starting to make a difference here.
Ryan, one of the tougher opponents to chip up here, recently won a main event here in Houston to the tune of about 180. Not bad. So definitely has some final table experience.
Yeah, picking those chips up is going to help him tremendously here. As our new chip leader wakes up to the beautiful ace-9 suited, going to open this one up for sure. A little larger sizing, 425 with the 150 big blind level. It just picks up the blinds, and that's a pretty big win. Actually, I think the blinds went up.
I think they did go up. If it wasn't that last hand that we saw the all-in.
So that's a lot more normal. I think the blinds are 200 now.
Yes. 100, 200.
100, 200, 200. Hope everybody out there is having a fantastic day so far. Thanks for joining us for this live final table. We got someone in Andrew rooting for Ethan. Let us know who you're rooting for of the remaining players.
No matter what here, it's going to be a great result for Houston Poker. I mean, we do welcome all of our out-of-town guests and people that travel in from other places to come play the tournaments, but it's guaranteed that a big chunk of this prize pool is going to stay in Houston, and that's good for everybody.
King 5 off, probably not good enough. Even as aggressive as you want to be. No one's super duper short. Gabriel are going to open this one up. Queen 10 suited and cutoff looks pretty good. Ryan with an ace on the button. Sean with a very defendable 9-7 of hearts. Queen 10 flops pretty good. Open ender. Nothing going on for Sean. This will probably just be a check bet and take it. Yeah, check bet and take it. Bet your open enders in tournaments on boards that favor you. Going to be a recipe for success here.
Absolutely.
God of Despair rooting for Ed, and I don't want to butcher this name. Do you know how to say it?
Danilo.
Danilo? Oh,
Danilo.
I guess phonetically that makes sense.
Yep, one of our Danilo's from the Ukraine. So variation, I guess, of one of our common names. Good player. Usually see him playing more forward card, a little bit of PLO. So has also, I believe, made the final table of the Moneymaker event that we had in 2024. So we have seen him here on TCH Live before.
Glad to have him back then. Sean gonna rip blind versus blind. Ace high, more than good enough. King high, not good enough for Ethan. Ethan, and we have hour-long levels now, which is very good news for these shorter stack players. The day ones were 30-minute levels. Day two was 40-minute, and the final table is an hour long, I believe. So that's really good news for these short stacks. They get a little bit more breathing room to try and pick up much needed chips.
Yeah, absolutely. These players have enjoyed a lot of play over the course of this event, a lot of value. Justin put together a great structure to give them as much time to work as they can. So again, we have some aggressive players and some people that are not afraid to battle. So the hour-long levels, we could be here a while. We could be in for a grind. We could also see fireworks pretty early.
And just mucking ace 10 as the chip leader. I think this is honestly a pure open being the chip leader. Knowing that you have a very short stack in the small blind. Ethan gonna shove this blind versus blind.
As we see, I believe, are all of the aces out. Edward still would have had the best.
At least three.
Yeah, Edward would have had the best one still. Let's see what Danilo wakes up with.
That's gonna muck it. Yeah, with these two short stacks in the blinds, I would have imagined ace 10 would have opened it up. It's just the pressure's on having two similar stacks here. Ethan can't shove very lightly, knowing that the chip leader is racing into the two shortest stacks.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't mind the fold at all either. It's just I'm used to seeing the chip leader, really put the pressure on these two short stacks because that's the spot where you want to do it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we don't, nobody likes to have to raise fold. Maybe Edward has been pretty active early. I know it's only been a few hands, but, maybe just thinking that someone would think he's fooling around and take a stand.
Bad boy with 2 6s. See what he wants to do. We all know the bad boy likes to play. And he's playing all right. Price is going up. Looks like 450 is the bet. It's hard to make a pair and hold them too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, still had 20 blinds, so not necessarily needing to
stick it in.
Yeah, get it all the way in, but
see if Ed wants to defend this suit of wheel cards. Knows bad boy is very active. These two cards could be very well live.
6 of clubs with any additional help for Edward would make for an interesting flop.
They will see a flop 2 live unders, and that's enough for Ed to want to continue. Bad boy not liking this flop. Let's see what he wants to do.
Yeah, I think the graphic's showing a 10 of spades there, but it is the 10 of clubs on the flop.
We'll have to double check that. Bad boy just betting straight out, repping a pretty strong hand. Board does favor him.
Considering the call, I am going to assume yes, it was the.
Oh, it is the 10 of spades.
Oh, it is the
Once
10 of spades. Okay.
once Ed calls here, I think Ed's hand is going to be lots of tens, lots of queens, and then a bunch of flush draws. Maybe some straight draws. Bad boy just has all the really strong hands here though. Queens, tens, jacks, aces, kings, ace king, ace queen. And Ed's probably going to be that. Bad boy bluffing with the best hand. Gets it through. Feels good to kind of win that one. Pick up a little bit of chips.
Yeah, nice continuation on the turn. Can be tempting to give up
back,
there, yeah. So have you recovered from this weekend?
No, I'm still tired. Not enough sleep.
Yeah, I think like we were talking about, the structure of this tournament has been very good from the beginning. So I know if the players that played the Friday and especially really the Saturday and the Sunday evening flights that went into the early hours of the morning, played a lot of poker coming into Monday and then also now starting up again today.
I feel like this week's going to be a little lighter. Everyone kind of recouping after, because I mean, we were busy.
Yeah, the room was window to wall every day basically this weekend, including yesterday. We also had a $200 30K single day closing event, very successful. 11K at the top of that one by the end of it. So
See what Ed wants to do with these threes. Ethan opening off of a stack. Three's not going to play real well. Imagine we're going to be raising or folding here. I don't like the idea of calling and letting Bad Boy come along, because Bad Boy is going to have a great price here with any two cards, and we don't really want to just let him come along, because I think he's going to call a lot here.
oh,
as he does.
That's more. Is that more than a call?
No, that's a call. That's
a call. Okay. Oh, that's the white chips. So yeah, 25K.
25Ks.
I mean, you know, he's already in the small blind, right? So he's calling 300K to potentially just set line. You know, it's going to be hard. So I don't know if you mind Bad Boy being in the pot as well.
It's going to be hard. If Ethan bets here, we're just folding a lot of the time. Does check through. Threes are best here, but Queen Jack can hit an 8-9, Queen or Jack. I imagine Ethan is going to bet this turn.
Yeah, now picks up a gut shot along with the two overs.
Ed's going to have lots of broadways here and lots of small pairs. It looks like Bad Boy is just going to take the betting initiative. I like this from him. He actually is going to have the most tens. And this is where I don't... Yeah, Ethan's just going to have to... I don't like threes. We're just going to be folding a lot, even though we have the best hand. It's going to be incredibly hard to get sticky here because Bad Boy is not one to give up. And if he thinks he can get Ed to fold, you know, pocket sevens, pocket sixes, obviously pocket threes, an 8, he'll keep the pressure on.
Yeah, and that's one thing I was going to ask you right when Edward checked was if potentially doing what Bad Boy did and taking the initiative.
I think it's great.
Yeah, would have been the move for Edward here.
Because Bad Boy can be betting an 8, he can be betting a 10, and he could be bluffing with a large range of hands. And even versus the hands that he's bluffing with, those hands, other than a 3 on the river, you don't really know what he could have. He's kind of uncapped. And well played by Bad Boy picking that up there.
I think if you've ever played with Bad Boy, you know that he's always uncapped.
It's true. He's 90% of the time he can have anything. 8% of the other 10% he can still have anything, and then the last 2% he can have nothing. Is when
Yeah, exactly. Or it may be nothing on the flop, but he has a magical way of hitting those turns.
very very aggressive and capable player, and also very self aware of his image too. He knows it, uses it very well to his advantage. Uh, but that's what I'm saying. I think Ed could have done. I would like to see threes in the muck or three bets, small three bets, to not let uh, bad boy in, because Ethan's going to be raise folding or raise jamming. A lot of the hands he's opening in the cutoff with.
Yeah, very true. I think the battle between those two in the blinds and with Edward on the button is definitely gonna be something to look out for as this table progresses.
Ace six good enough to open on the button, like it. Very bad boy hand hitting the muck.
Yeah, I was gonna say typically he's good for the heat check with the an offsuit connector.
Queen nine, most certainly good enough to call in the big blind versus a button open. We're gonna see these players battle here. Nine in the window. Dry guy for Ed. He could represent clubs. Like the check. Ace from space. No waiting. Would like to see. I would have liked to see a very small bet on the turn there to charge the eights and nines to get a little bit of value. It's gonna be hard to get value on lots of runouts. Very very large bet. Uh, Not relative to the pot. Just two big blinds on this. I would have liked to see maybe a one big blind bet on the turn to charge.
Yeah, I think maybe checking, hopefully, just to get maximum value on this river here. And considering that Gabby's thinking here for a second, it may pay off in the long run.
Really looking to get called by a king. Uh, King or nine is what Ed's Ed's targeting with this bet.
Yeah. Using the ace blocker to bluff the club,
It's not really
potentially
he's not
also.
really repping clubs with this. He's just saying I have an ace or a king. The way Gabriel's played this hand, it's very unlikely that he has a flush. When it goes check, 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 a flush would very likely lead river. It would be a very good check by a flush,
I guess I
like for a
mean,
check raise.
I guess now that I think about it, I even mean he's like bluffing the bluff, right? Using the club as a card that looks like a bluff card to try to get value.
The the hands that he'd be betting that aren't beating a nine would be a hand like Queen Jack or Jack 10, but all of those hands should be betting flop. The overs and the straight draws. So it really just looks like a hand like King Queen or like even a hand like King 10 that King 7 suited that just check 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 and makes a pair going for a little bit of thin value.
Right.
That's why I would have liked to see a bet on the turn. It's just a card that the button should be stabbing at a lot.
Right.
It's not going to hit the big blind very often. And even though it did hit Ed that one time, I think he should be bluffing at it enough to where you need to start betting some of your weak aces. My favorite hand in the muck. Terrible tournament hand. Terrible cash hand. So bad boy with a premium on the button. Dangerous combination. Going up 475 is the wager.
Let's see what kind of credit he gets from the blinds here.
Queen 10 not looking good. King 10 is going to defend. Maybe some other options going through Ryan's head. Be kind of a poor time to put up super resistance in terms of a 3-bet. Besides better, just going to call 575, not 475 is the open. Very large. Ace Jack still best. Not a great flop for Ryan's specific hand or Bad Boy's specific hand. See how they want to play it. Bad Boy, not one that likes to give up, goes for massive sizing. Ryan just forced to let it go. Can't even make a play for stat sizing.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, like a bad boy signature move, is throwing off his opponent with bet sizings that can be confusing.
And Bad Boy can have cards that hit that board hard.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
he
that's
loves raising those like the 10-9, Jack 10, 7-8, all the hands that can still hit that board fairly hard. Obviously, including 7-6 for the straight.
yeah, absolutely not shy of suited connectors at final tables, and that's one of the benefits of a play style where he comes in with chip lead or close to quite often. So you have a little bit more wiggle room to play those kind of hands.
I feel like even if he doesn't have the chips to play it, he likes playing it.
True. Got to go with your flow.
Gonna open up the two big blinds here with the Jackson off and the cutoff. Eights for Taylor. Versus Bad Boy, you can lean both ways. You can 3-bet this, you can call this. Really depends on how much he wants to play back. And I like this. Taylor knows real well that Bad Boy can have anything here. Bad Boy doesn't like giving up in position, though, without a fight. It looks like he's got some calling chips. We got ourselves a race. Taylor doesn't realize that. But there are some very interesting boards that could come up that could have these two battling. That's not one of them. I'd be pretty happy with eights on this board. I'm going to bet this one pretty frequently. Probably going to see a down bet here, maybe a quarter pot. Yeah, that's what it looks like. A third to a quarter, somewhere in that 650. See if Bad Boy wants to float. Try and take it down at a later street. Doesn't really want to turn a draw. Because a king turning the open ender, yeah, it would be bad. Just makes the discipline lay down. Well played by Taylor.
Sometimes you got to fight fire with fire. Get out in front.
A lot of people would take a look at 2 8s and just flick in the call. But Taylor, well aware that the Bad Boy is trying to do things way too often there in that position.
Yeah, it's always a tough balance. You want to, conserve and make your stack last as long as possible. But at the same time, there's certain spots and opportunities where you have to take the aggressive line.
Especially when you think, and you're more than likely to have the best hand. You just want to put chips in when you're ahead. It's the name of the game.
Yep, I was going to say, I think that's what the book said.
Danilo gonna put this in, or go for a small raise. It looks like he's going for the small raise. Allow him the ability to get away from it if there is some later large amount of action. Doesn't look like it so far. Jack 7 of clubs giving some thought. Gonna hit the muck. Shang, computer hand. Gonna just muck it. Gets the same result as a shove. Just a little more information.
Yeah, definitely nothing wrong with giving yourself an out to stay in the tournament. I'm sure a lot of these players are going to be happy to take some of this prize money that they're going to win and go to Vegas.
Yeah, a lot of these players that played in the PokerAtlas Tour are going to be just turning around, playing a lot more tournaments soon. World Series of Poker just around the corner. You have any plans for that?
I was thinking about going the weekend or the week of the 20th. Um, so that weekend, starting the 20th, there is a Magic the Gathering convention
I'm
that I'm thinking about.
well aware. I've been invited by many. I will not be going as much as I would like to.
Yeah, so that if I do decide to go, that I could kind of stay in a few extra days and parlay maybe into the Gladiator.
Good little tournament to play in. As we got some action brewing here. Gabriel waking up to tens. Welcome sight when you see Bad Boy open. Deciding what sizing he wants to choose, and he chooses all of it. Don't mind it. Ace Jack hitting the muck. Good. A lot of overs hitting the muck.
Yeah, no hesitation. Again, a spot where someone too nervous to put their stack in may have found themselves in some trouble with the hands behind them, having to make a tough call. And Gabby does not put himself in that position. He takes the line.
Bad Boy gonna ask for the count. Could be willing to gamble if it's a short enough stack. 3.6 million, a little too much to gamble with the 10 8 clubs. I think. Bad Boy could decide on gambling. He's in terrible shape if he does.
Yeah, over half the stack here. The price just a little steep.
Doing some inventory. Of course, if he has a hand like Ace King, we're live. But not a hand, a little too far down in the hand distribution to call that one off. Nice pickup. They're chipping up. I like the shove over the 3-bet. Just lets us fold out hands that could shove it over us. Like a hand like Ace Jack suited would muck, but may consider a cold 4-bet. And
Right.
that could put us in a terrible spot if we by not shoving there. I like open ripping the tens there.
Yeah, for sure. Gabriel, almost $2 million in earnings on Hendon Mob, so very experienced final table player. And after so many tournaments, so many wins, and also bad beats, probably fearless at this point. So I imagine he's very comfortable at this final table.
Jack 8. Bad boy just keeps going. I don't think there's a hand he doesn't like.
So far, getting the job done around the table.
King 8 suited didn't do very well the first time we saw its appearance at the final table. Levi eliminated by the inferior King Deuce suited with his King 8. Danilo getting a pretty good price to defend, I imagine. Oh, I'm very shocked. It's very disciplined laydown. Jack 9 off a lot would deem pretty much a mandatory defend. Can make a straight, strong top pairs.
Yeah, it's one of those hands again with knowing that Bad Boy could be a top bottom of range with quite a few hands. When if you play Jack 9 against somebody that is going to be nines plus, tens plus, big cards, you can maybe navigate, but it's just so hard to play with Bad Boy post flop.
See if he can keep it up. And his chips, Bad Boy's chip stack is just gonna roller coaster. The way everyone else kind of staying in their own lane and letting him do what he does best. Ethan, one or two more orbits is gonna have to start looking. Probably two. Yeah, two more orbits. He's gonna be in the danger zone. So I imagine Ethan's gonna try and make some moves. And this is where it gets really dangerous, is when he wakes up with a hand like this.
Somebody might try to take a stand at the exact wrong time.
Have someone who's raised 3 straight hands in a row, and now he's got the goods. Kings. see if anyone has anything to give him any resistance.
Not
Queen
even
diaper for
close so
Sean.
far.
He-
Higher than a 10? Any cards higher than a 10?
huh? Nope. Looks like Bad Boy's just gonna get, and this feels so bad for him too. I don't think Ed's gonna give. Oh, he's thinking about it. Thinking about defending Big Lick.
Again, this is the benefit. Someone just might feel like they want to take a stand.
He does. Makes the call with the low confidence, low denomination chips.
Yeah. We have to definitely talk about that. It is not a solid tell, but
It's a pretty accurate one. It doesn't mean their hand is trash. Usually it leans towards a weaker range. Bad Boy just checking back the ace high and turns the effective nuts here. Ed's pretty content with this pair of nines. Just gonna try and get the showdown. Bad Boy gonna build this pot now that he's got a big hand. Bets a little smaller. 40% pot. You can do this with a lot of hands. Pair too strong to let go versus someone this aggressive right now with that chip stack. A 9 would be disastrous. Jack 10 does get there. See if Bad Boy can get any more value. Just checks it back. Does not want to get check raised. A little snug of a check back. I don't mind it though, with the only person at the table that can really do damage to your stack. It's a pretty big disaster if we bet and we get raised. Not a lot of hands that can call us though from the big blinds. So I can see why Bad Boy checks that one back. All 16 combinations of Jack 10 available. Not a lot of combinations of worse hands that can call a bet for value on the river. I don't see a lot of king queens there. It's really just 9-8, 8s, and 9s. Maybe ace 9 suited, ace 8 suited. But I mean, it's.
I don't know why you did.
Maybe you hold 10 jack then, you know.
Yep.
yeah.
He said, and he's well aware that just all the Jack 10s are in play. Wasn't going to get any value. You're just going to get a lot of folds. See if Taylor wants to open the 9-8 suited. Does not. Especially with all these short stacks that are going to shove behind him. Ethan might put this one in the middle.
Yeah.
Cut off the two big stacks in the blinds. Yeah, he does. I like it. We got to pick up some chips at some point in time.
Absolutely. And the fact that Bad Boy is in the big blind, you know, both of the stacks that could call off with worse are in the blind there.
Picking up chips to survive another orbit. Very welcome for him. Him and Danilo really neck and neck here. 20 or 2.3 million chips for both of them. So right at 11 and a half big blinds. Right at 11.
Racing to catch hands here, but also at the same time, you know, watching some final tables recently, you know, you see high-level professional players at final tables really nursing 5, 6, 7 big blind stacks.
7 big blind stacks because they know they have time. It's not like we have hour-long levels at this final table, so there's time. Ethan now waking up with ace queen, determining what he wants to do. Just gonna rip this one. I don't mind this one either. Bad Boy likes to defend light out of the small blind, and he has the goods. This is a disaster for Ethan.
That's a rough one.
It's just something that you have to do with ace queen in his stack size. Yeah, Bad Boy gonna rip it.
We saw a similar situation with Walter in one of our earlier final table streams.
Ethan looking for a queen or running hearts or a straight. It's gonna be hard to make the straight though. It should be hard to do 4 hearts too as well. It's about the same. Mainly a queen. That's what Ethan wants the most.
Yep, singing "Luck Be a Lady."
Bad boy in a great shape to score another elimination. That's a heart in the window. Running straight, no more heart opportunity. Queen and a queen alone will save Ethan's tournament life, and that will do it. Ethan, nice run, will be eliminated in 8th place. Will take home $10,340 for his efforts. Good job, Ethan. Played it as well as he could get this far. Just ran into it at the end. Next player eliminated will get $12,480. And these players are playing for a first place prize of $84,680 plus a $2,200 seat at the PokerAtlas Tour Championship event in December in Las Vegas at the Venetian. That is a $2,200 buy-in, $2 million guaranteed tournament that you get a free seat to for winning this tournament, along with $85,000. But you know,
Yeah. Hate to see Ethan go, one of the nice guys of the poker room. Also been running pretty well recently at our Trailblazer events. First place at the kickoff event. Also just barely missed the final table in April as well. So probably looking to see him in Vegas, continuing to build up those results.
dangerous men now with picking up those chips. King 6 of diamonds for bad boy on the button. Gabriel could, if he wanted to, could squeeze this one in the small blind. Thinking about it, thinks better. Oh, and good time. Good thing he did not. Ryan with ace queen. Yeah, just gonna pilot. No, not gonna let bad boy see a flop. King 6 of diamonds not gonna do it either. Pretty standard button raise too. Just gonna fold.
He saw that those cards were live. Maybe not completely unwilling to gamble. The price would have been just a little bit too high, probably,
Yeah,
but
20 big blinds is a little steep right now, as Danilo is nursing 11 bigs. Nice pickup. Hope everyone out there is having a fantastic evening so far. Thanks for joining us. We got more than 200 of y'all joining us tonight for this conclusion to the PokerAtlas Tour here at Texas Card House, Houston. Been a great run of tournaments.
yeah, it's been great. We've got 200 plus viewers, so thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Let us know again who you're rooting for in the chat. We've got Kendall rooting for Ryan, Jacobs rooting for Ed.
Ed gonna open up ace-9 off in the hijack. Pretty standard. These raggedy ace hands become a lot more valuable the shorter these stacks get in late position.
Yep, the stacks are getting a little shorter. The table's getting a little shorter, so
You got to try and pick up chips as often as you can. Ace gonna defend here. The worst ace in the deck gonna defend here from the big blind, and I imagine this is just gonna go check, bet, and take it. Checks through. No, yeah, checks through. It looks like. Very surprised to see a check back this. Expect Ed to bet this. Yeah, he does. Ace-9 high is actually just going to be the best hand here most of the time in the big blind. This is really a bet for equity denial, not value, even though it's going to be the best hand most of the time. Most of the worst hands are just going to fold, which is what you want. Just don't want to let them see the river for free and catch up.
absolutely.
C2 Energy Media rooting for Gabby.
Terry makes a great point. We only have 20 likes right now on the stream, so if you're watching, go ahead and give a like, share with your friends, subscribe.
Texas Card House brings y'all premium content all throughout the week.
Yep.
So, plenty of stuff. Not just tournaments. Plenty of cash games. So we bring you 136 PLO here on Thursdays. If y'all don't like Hold'em, but imagine if you were watching this stream, y'all like Hold'em.
Yeah, with it's both games, especially if you're in Texas, are super popular. So if you want to make the most of your time playing poker, a lot of times you have to learn both a little bit. So we are giving the players a couple days off from grinding after the tournament, and we will be back on this Thursday with our 136 PLO action.
Ryan gonna raise ace queen on the button. Sean gonna defend it. Jack 10. 10 in the window. All spades. Ryan with the queen of spades. Sean gonna be pretty content with this top pair. Gonna try and get this to showdown. Imagine this flop is just gonna go check, check. Ryan now with a wheel draw. See if Ryan's gonna start betting. Just gonna take his equity. Looking to catch up. Clean run out for Sean. See if he can bet for value. I don't think Ryan's gonna bluff it. His hand's too strong to bluff. Yeah. And Sean's just gonna go for a little bit of value, hoping to get looked up by ace high, pocket fours, and does get looked up. Well played by Sean. Gets value.
Yeah, and these final table situations where every chip matters, definitely just that extra river bet could be the difference at the end.
Sean chipping up to 20 big blinds. That's very important. I think it's a very important benchmark in the stack size here, because you don't want to have 10 big blinds. 20 bigs when the largest stack has 50 is plenty of play.
Right. Anytime you can put someone in a situation where they are advantaged, but calling off is gonna
still put a huge dent.
Yeah, it could completely flip the situation. Players have been pretty focused, not a lot of chatter at the table.
On a lot of the smaller tournaments, you'll see it a lot of a lot more talking, drinking, but when there can be some serious money up top, you see players kind of zone in, I guess is the best way to describe it. The players are locked in. They want to play. Taylor raising the 6-4 off on the button. A little loose. Gets Sean to fold queen jack off. Picking up some chips. Just using that power position.
Yeah, definitely don't mind applying a little bit of pressure to the blinds early, just so you can see how they react and go from there.
Thank you, Darren. Terry Smith, happy birthday. Hope you're having a good birthday. I think people in general are pretty honest about their birthday. The times that people aren't honest about it being their birthday, it's like when you're at a restaurant and you get free dessert. That's when people are a little liberal. Like, it's my birthday, 42 days ago.
Yeah, it's my birthday month.
Bad boy with 7 deuce doesn't feel frisky right now.
We do maybe have some type of beverage coming on Ed. Thank you, Ed.
It's okay to let loose, have a little, just don't go too wild. Taylor now waking up with Big Slick after Ryan opens. Price is going to go up. Question is, what is this sizing going to be? Looks very small. A little more than a click. Jack 7 of hearts, not looking real good. This is the type of hand you're really trying to price out. Taylor hoping to induce or at least let Ryan call. Ryan just quickly mucks the queen jack. Good sizing on Taylor. Really trying to get called by a worse hand. You don't see a lot of these sizings in cash games. It's a lot of larger sizings, and that's one of the cool things about tournaments is it's really been figured out that you don't need to risk. You know, you see a lot of cash game players open to 5, 6 big blinds. In tournaments, you're opening to 2 big blinds, 2.2 big blinds. The risk is just too much.
All right, absolutely. The name of the game is survival.
It's all good, Terry. That's close enough. July. What was I saying? 42 days.
Yeah, you
Yes,
pretty
it's
much
something
nailed
like
it.
that. It's basically.
You basically nailed it.
I think we had a card misread error because it looked like it said Sean folded aces. I don't think that would have happened. Ryan opening ace-8 of hearts. Let's see what Ed wants to do with fives. Looks like a 3-bet is incoming. I like this from Ed. I like this a lot. See, and this is what I wanted, the line I wanted him to take when he had 3s earlier with Fu and the big blind behind him. You just don't want to give him a good price to come along. Ryan's hand is kind of handcuffed here. You want to see a flop with this, but our stack size is just not good enough. And well played by Ed. Picks it up. Mitchell, I don't think he went to the bathroom. I think it was a misread. The card readers had I think it showed the ace of hearts in his hand with the ace of diamonds, and we could very clearly see that Ryan had the ace of hearts.
Right.
So it was a misread. Smudge, glad to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing well. Players are pretty good about not missing hands at these final tables because every hand is so important. You have you have bathroom breaks or just a generic break every 2 levels is what they've agreed on. Noah asking who's playing the worst. I think everyone's playing pretty well. The worst I would say is not the worst, but pretty normal is Bad Boy himself. Fu is up to his usual antics. Bad Boy doing bad boy things.
I think he's the best.
It makes him unpredictable and very dangerous. Ryan back at it with another suited ace, hearts. Bad Boy, see, this is what we're talking. Bad Boy doing bad boy things. Two players with clubs. Gabriel dominated heavily. Club in the window. Oh, no. We could have a collision here. Bad Boy and Gabby flopping clubs. 2 players flopping middle pair. Cooley, this is not the place to address that. If you have any problems, please let someone in management know. Do not address them here in the chat. Gabby gonna lead out. Really trying to set his price. Very likely he has the best hand. John, Sean didn't fold aces. It was a card misread error. Ryan gonna peel, and now Bad Boy has a good price. See if he wants to check raise or just call. A club would be very interesting. The ace of clubs would be the most interesting card in the deck. That's not an interesting turn card. That's gonna freeze the action. Queen 10 does come in. King Jack. I imagine this is just gonna check through. Ryan really can't bet this hand for value or protection. You're not really going to get called by a whole lot worse other than Gabby's specific holding. A clean run out for him, though. This river, though, if Bad Boy wanted to take it, he could take it.
He's
And
going for
he
it.
is going for it. 6 high in a dream. Knows his hand has absolutely no showdown value. Really representing a hand like King 10, King Jack.
Making it really hard for these nines to call.
Yeah, and Ryan just puts it in the muck. Well played by Bad Boy. Had a plan the whole time through.
Respect the name.
Really, really repping. Well played. Bad Boy chipping on up. Now at 11.5 million chips. Danilo almost in the danger zone. Below 10 bigs. Does need to look to make something happen. Ryan getting close. His things haven't gone his way. Been picking up some hands, meeting lots of resistance, and then got bluffed off the best hand there, just in a spot where you can't realistically call.
Right.
You're either going to get shown the 6-5 of clubs or a hand that you are crushed by, and there are lots of hands you are crushed by on that river.
Absolutely. Danilo considering this king 5 of spades here. Slightly fewer than 8 blinds, decides to let it go.
I gotta learn this move. I just don't want to wear a jacket because I'm always hot, so I can't. I don't know what I have to do. It doesn't look as cool though unless you bring the hood over to the side, you know.
The classic dilemma. I don't know how some players do it covered up the entire day, but it does get cold in poker rooms. Welcome, Joshua. Thank you for joining us. You haven't missed too much. We've had 1 or 2 eliminations, but we're still 7-handed with a lot of play.
Everyone's Bad Boy's just keeping the pressure on, and when he gets chips like this, this is really where he starts to put the pressure on.
Let's see if
Fearless.
Ryan wants to take 8 blinds to the streets. Ace 8. He does. Bad Boy may or may not feel like he has enough chips to call this off here. He knows he would be behind unless he, at best he would have 2 overs, but his cards are more than likely live. He may feel like taking the risk. Gonna count the chips, see if he can summon a jack.
Really, this is kind of the best case scenario for Jack 9, where you're flipping, and that's what you'd want. I mean, Ryan, everyone knows what Bad Boy is up to. They've been playing with him all day, yesterday. Excuse me. Presumably some of them even longer than that. And as successful as he's been in the tournament series throughout, all of Houston and Texas, people know his game, and his game is just him. It's and
free.
You can adjust to it, and a lot of players, as we've seen at this final table, have already made those adjustments.
Right. I think also Ryan, being from the Katy area, typically see him at the larger guarantee events, where again, like I mentioned, recently Poker Open at Champions, they he got a first place trophy there. So they have probably played against each other. So there's history going back at big final tables beyond just this event.
Danilo shipping it in with the King Queen of Diamonds. Don't blame him for this one. 9 big blinds in a dream. It's going to go in the middle here. and a low jack. Ed's gonna look this up. Ace queen off, a little too strong to be folding. The main problem is if someone behind us wakes up with a hand, we will be putting in the call. No reason to raise. No reason to raise. Ed gonna make the call. Bad boy reluctantly folding a hand he likes. Taylor, easy muck.
Oh, he has a corner left. I'm so sorry.
They're going to a flop, and Danilo has a quarter behind. Darren, thanks again. Thanks for that on behalf of Joshua. And you can't fold for 25,000 into 4 million chips. I don't care who you are.
It's impossible.
If they turn over a set of 9s, I'm not folding. And Danilo turning some real outs, a 10 or a king, and not manifested. Well played by Danilo. He will be eliminated in 7th place, taking home $12,480.
Definitely happy to see him at the final table, and I'm sure, again, we'll see more of him at future events. Best of luck. Another pay jump for the remaining players, about 2,500. This time of year, it seems like everybody's thinking in bullets more than dollars. So that's, you know, your mini main event, your next PokerAtlas Tour main event, 3 or 4 bullets. Ryan gonna open up the ace-8 suited on the button. Pretty standard. Eamon, thank you so much. He's rooting for Ed, and thank you for the compliment in the chat. Appreciate you tuning in. If you guys are interested in playing on TCH Live, we have locations in Austin and Dallas. Lots of great games, lots of action all over Texas. So check out the chat. We have the forms for you to sign up. That's the easy way to do it. These players have done it the hard way, battling 1,000 other players or so to get to this point. Gabriel's been pretty quiet at this final table, so gonna give the ace-8 offsuit a chance here. Edward with a 7 and a mystery card. It's a deuce. Gabriel gets that one through.
I was in the big blind. I was tempted. Yeah, he has to raise it, right? Those are like aces to him, you know?
As you guys can see, we've got the trophies there. Kind of the right-hand side of the screen are wonderful Atlas trophies. John, all of the streams for all locations kind of filter through the TCH Live YouTube channel. So if you give that a like, give that a subscribe, you should be notified about all of the streams for Dallas, Houston, Austin. Edward and Bad Boy battling in the blinds again. Edward with a mid hand, exactly as the kids would say these days. Enough to steal the blind.
One of my personal friends' favorite hands, Queen 8. So shout out to Eric. I don't think Ed was winning the hand for you, but yeah, just shout out your favorite hand won a hand in the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you again, Darren. Appreciate that. Appreciate the donations. Giving the birthday love around. I don't know the answer to that question, Rick. The blinds are currently 100,000, 200,000 with a 200,000 big blind ante. Sorry about that. I believe we only said it at the beginning when it changed the levels. We should be saying it more often with it not posted. See if we can get that up for y'all.
The blinds are our levels, so
We got a while on this level. Actually, bad boy in the small blind. It might have just gone up actually.
I believe they actually may have. Let's double check on that.
Based on that, it looks like it's 125, 250, 250 now. Taylor raising. Yeah, it's 150 or 125, 250, 250 now. Gabriel coming along with the 10-8 off. Sorry about that, Rick. See if we can get that for y'all. A little more clarity would help. 8 in the window. Wheel draw for Taylor. Gut shot for bad boy. Everybody has a little bit of something. Taylor looking like he's gonna bet his gut shot now. And with these blind levels being what they are, Gabby may just check raise this bet.
He does have the 10 of hearts as well.
Bad boy makes the call. I think Gabby is gonna have to check raise this all in. There are not a lot of turn cards. If we call, we're gonna be forced to put our stack in on a lot of turn cards that we don't want to. Just folds the 8. I'm shocked. Gabby, a seasoned player, and this would have been one of those cards, the Queen of Spades. I'm very surprised to not check raise all in after seeing the flop with the 10-8. That's what I thought he was going to do for sure. But now, Taylor gonna keep applying pressure, and the chip leader, if he wants to, could take this away. No 6, but could draw to a 7 as well. Bad boy making the call here. I imagine he's got plans for some river bluffs. That's not one of them. Ace high, the best hand, and ace high is going to win at showdown. If Taylor checks this through, it's hard to imagine. It's really hard to imagine a hand that we beat at showdown by checking, but Bad boy's gonna show the 7-5. Oh, just looks like he just mucked it. I'm very shocked, and you know Gabby is not feeling great now that he sees the ace 5 take down the hand there. That's a big win for Taylor too.
Yeah, that ended up being a sizable size.
I'm putting the complete sandwich in them. Yeah, I ship it on you if you don't. I have an 8. I know he has the draw, so now I have
Ed and Taylor now sitting neck and neck at 10.9 million. Bad Boy chipping down 7.8 million. Gabby in the danger zone with just over 10 bigs. Sean real close to being there. I imagine Taylor is going to keep applying the pressure. He's going to raise it up. Shipping on up, Taylor is. Mitchell, I'm just as surprised. I thought there's not a lot of better flops that we get than flopping top pair on 8-4 deuce. It was very surprising to not see him check raise. I think the call from Bad Boy kind of dissuaded him from check raising in that hand. Very confident that he could beat one player, but beating two players realistically is going to be very hard with 10-8 off there on that.
Right.
Which is probably the thought process going through his head.
Flush draw already out there, even if you do have the best hand on the flop. A lot of high equity hands that your opponents might have.
Gabby thinking what he wants to do on the button with this hand. Looks like he's going to open up the 9-8 off on the button. Going to try and collect some blinds to survive another orbit.
If that is the outlaw that I think it could be in the chat, I want to know, where were you during this tournament?
No appearance. Shame on you.
not reading that one. If I rip it and I hit that,
I'm willing to bet outlaw went to Vegas already.
then it's the good light. That's a good light. That I could.
I'd like to thank everybody joining us for this final table for the main event here from the PokerAtlas Tour at Texas Card House, Houston. This was a huge turnout. We had over 900, or we had exactly 994 entries, creating a prize pool of a little over $500,000 for this tournament. Pretty nice turnout. These players are playing for $84,000 and a $22,000 or $2,200 seat to a $2 million guaranteed championship tournament for PokerAtlas Tour in December in Vegas. Isaac, glad to see you here in the chat. Also surprised you didn't play in this one. Taylor really applying the pressure to the short stack. Sean with the 10-4 off. Thinking about it, the side's better. Aggression is key here. Chip leader is still chipping up. Rick, I've said the amounts a couple times. I will say them again. We are trying to get that resolved for you. Hopefully we can have that updated soon. But the blinds are currently 125,000, 250,000 with a 250,000 big blind ante. They're hour-long blind levels. So sometime in the next 45 minutes-ish, we will see the blinds increase to 150, 300, 300. So Ryan just sitting north of 10 big blinds. Sean sitting right at 15. Gabby sitting around the same. Bad Boy, Ed, and Taylor have a little bit of breathing room. Taylor has done a good amount of chipping up.
Yeah, he definitely has now on the chip lead.
Yeah. 2 queens for Gabby. This is a welcome sight. Gonna just open it up. I like the decision to just raise 550,000. Corey checking out the chip.
Oh yeah. We got the nice, pretty turquoise blue 500K chips in play.
Ed in the big blind with a beautiful queen 10 of clubs. Doesn't look so great when the person raising has such a short chip stack. Probably going to make the defend, though.
Yeah, two suited, not two. And again, this is the benefit of
Tutor.
going with the raise as opposed to the all-in, even though you definitely can with 12 blinds.
Nothing for Ed. A beautiful flop for Gabby. As long as Ed doesn't have a 6, he's in fantastic shape. Gonna bet a little bit. Gotta start building the pot. Gonna go with the same sizing he raised to pre-flop. And yeah, queen high is just so good here.
I'm in bad shape. For the stream.
Yeah. Told me after the tournament is going to improve tremendously.
That having to start going viral before you know it, 1 million people.
Good job, by the way. Same thing, right?
If you guys want to follow along with the updates and some of the other action or any information about other events, we're going to be posting in the chat our blog where all of the information on the Poker Atlas Tour can be found.
7 folds, yes sir. See 1 folds.
Bad boy with my favorite hand in the big blind defending against King 10 offsuit.
King 10 the best hand, but bad boy with a gutter, and you know he likes his gutters.
Yeah, this is his neighborhood, so he feels comfortable. Not gonna give up.
The best hand gets a little bit better. And these two battled in a similar fashion with a high card versus gut shot.
Taylor taking pretty much the same line. Gets the fold.
This time he has a little bit better of a range to do it with. Well done, Taylor. Chipping on up.
I can hear somebody singing the Cops theme song in the poker room here. Somebody rooting for Bad Boy. Edward here with ace-4 suited on the button. Deciding what to do facing the open from Sean. Looking like he's going to decide to flat in position. Gabriel may also choose to defend. Terry, why is it my favorite hand? Do you have to ask me? My mom's watching. Don't make me say it.
It's not
out
a
loud.
family friendly stream. She can say it.
I mean, it is, but my mom's watching.
You've never said anything uncomfortable in front of your mom.
No, I avoid it.
I've never said anything uncomfortable like that. Well, I've said some uncomfortable things, like all the college stories that she's never heard came out at my wedding party.
That will tell all.
But I could have swore I told her one of them, like the time that I got pulled over with someone in my trunk by a cop, and I had someone in my trunk.
Okay. Who was in your trunk?
One of my friends. We didn't. The car was already full, and he wanted to ride back to campus. And the only spot left in the car was the trunk, and he said he was okay with it. And then I got pulled over for having my high beams on, but they weren't on. It was just bright. They were just bright. But I didn't get in trouble. They didn't find the person in the trunk.
Interesting. We know that was your dry run for hiding a body. Don't lie. It's okay.
I did think when I got pulled over, there was a non-0% chance that he was going to jump out of the trunk and get me in trouble. Because he thought we were lying to him. As we see, blind versus blind, Gabby has really thinking about whether or not he wants to shove it, and he does. Oh no, not even a shove, just a big raise, and we have Queen 9 versus King Queen. It looks like.
So C4 plus C5 on.
Ryan at risk here. Great time to pick up King Queen suited. See if he can find a nice double up, or Gabby can come up from behind. Gabby looking for a 9.
Yep, they're all in.
It's hit or miss.
All diamonds, 9 of diamonds live for Gabby. So a 9 or the 9 of diamonds. Now a 10, well, a 10 won't do it. A 10 gives bigger straight. So still the 9 or the 9 of diamonds. And that's a diamond. Ryan will be eliminated in 6th place. That is unfortunate. With the best hand. That is unfortunately a part of tournament poker. Congratulations, Ryan. You were a good run. Great play. But luck was not on your side for that one. Eliminated in 6th place for $14,980. Still pretty good payday for a $600 buy-in tournament. The next player leaving will be leaving with just shy of $20,000. $19,260 to their name. Then there were 5.
I'm pretty sure because it's, I don't know.
Good game, Ryan.
Hey, Steven,
Well played.
do I bust them out on the tablet or no?
Yeah, unfortunate that the best hand preflop has not been holding up for the short stack players here.
It's been domination rotation.
Like, there have been times where
Still got an interesting mix of players. A couple of the Houston poker industry folks still in. Very experienced tournament player.
I believe with that, Sean will be the effective short stack now. Or Danila.
C7 folds, C1 folds, C2 folds, C4 folds,
I don't remember which one had the.
6, you have a dead button in C4.
Yeah, I think
It looks like someone just got a walk.
Take care, man. Have a good night. Just get up, man. Just get up. It's no problem.
Oh wait, no, Danila.
Hey, you heard him, right?
we've got Sean, Taylor, Ed, Gabriel, and Bad Boy left.
Oh, that's right. Sean is the effective short. Oh, he has a lot less than I thought. 1.9 million. I misspoke. Danila had been eliminated. But Sean with just 1.9 million at this blind level is very short. So
2 hours yesterday. Right.
I mean, yeah. that
250,000 big blind, 1.9 million. That's less than 10 big blinds.
guy, one 5K chip was, and ended up cashing 6,000 or something. This guy was hanging around too. Now he's gonna be.
Sean gets a walk though with the 4 deuce. That's a pretty big one. Any walk you can get when you have a hand that bad is a big win.
You go like 11, right?
He built it to like 2 million.
No, more.
He told me a story and I was like, yeah, right.
Only,
Yeah, at 36
only
lines,
5,000. Only 5,000.
Yeah, he was sitting at my table. 5K, one red 5K chip.
yesterday was the day of the small stuff. So many small stuff that
I started with
survived.
617. I got after the first level. I had 120 or 140 or something like that.
Which Ryan did you see at the listening to that song? Is it the Ryan I'm thinking of? Ed gonna ship it. Sean's gonna have to fold. Queen 7 off, just not good enough to make the call.
I was trying to make it your last.
Because if it's the Ryan I'm thinking of, and he was just jamming out, that checks out. Bad Boy and Gabby now neck and neck after that elimination. I think the pace of play is just going to be revolved around Sean now. No one really wants to get caught too out of line while he's still able to play. Damien's been a fantastic final table. Tons of play. Ed gonna bump it up. Oh no, just calls. Bad Boy with 9's gonna rip it. Oh, 750. Never mind. I thought he said. I can't hear. 750 is still good enough to take it. 4 deuce seems a little bit of a loose limp.
Take care, man.
Especially to someone as aggressive as Bad Boy. Bad Boy is always going to be so aggressive in position. And it's going to be very hard for us without flopping something like 2 pair or a straight. I'm surprised to see him limp that one. Might have had a card misread error, but Taylor with a mystery card and an ace. He's going to be raising this one 5-handed. With
Big blind is this gentleman right here, 6'4".
suited ace for Ed on the button. The chip leaders could the 2 big stacks could battle here. Ace jack off for Taylor and a suited ace, suited Broadway ace. Bad Boy in there with king 10 off. Gabby getting a great price with any 2 cards. Gonna make the call. Mystery hand.
The short stack, everybody else is
I'm sorry, can I just see your card for a second?
Everybody's in this one. We're gonna play a big
See what we get here. 7 of diamonds and something else. 7 of diamonds is the best hand on this flop. But Ed has the nut flush draw on 2 overs. I don't think Taylor's going to see bet this flop 4 ways. Rick, we're still working on trying to get something put on the overlay for y'all. I will try my best to mention it every so often. What the blinds are. Sorry about that. Taylor gonna bet this, Ed gonna go nowhere, and if Gabby has a diamond to go with that, I imagine he's going nowhere as well. Ed thinking his choices through.
How much is it? $8.75.
Pretty good price to come along. Top pair, nut flush draw. Bad boy out of the way. Gabby with the 5 of clubs is not gonna come along. That ace, really not what he wanted to see. Diamond coming through for Ed. Ed makes the nut flush. See if he can get any value out of Taylor. Taylor does have a jack of diamonds blocker. Curious as to what sizing Ed's gonna go with. I would imagine Taylor would have a hand exactly like he has, a big ace. The question is, what sizing would he call? What sizing would we choose if we were to bluff at this? But I don't know what bluffs, natural bluffs we would have here. I imagine he's just going to go a little smaller. It looks like, yeah, less than half pot here. 1.7 million is the bet. I like this sizing. It's just very unlikely Taylor is going to have the type of hand that can call a very large bet after checking back the flop and betting turn. It's very this is almost always going to be one pair. So you want, yeah, and Taylor's not giving it much thought, just mucking it. One of the, I think if Taylor had had ace jack with the ace of diamonds, he would have been much more inclined to call. But not having the ace of diamonds is much more important than having the jack of diamonds, as you don't block any of the pair plus flush draws that the top pair plus flush draws Ed could have had on the turn. And that's a nice pickup by Ed. Now the chip leader, Taylor losing a little bit in the hand. It's a shame Ed couldn't find any more value after making his hand. Could have been a much bigger pot between the two. Bad boy gonna raise it up with a wheel ace. Taylor gonna make the call with Jack 10 off. Fair fight. Pair plus open-ended straight draw, still a fair fight. Bad boy is not going to give up the pressure just yet. Big bet too. If Bad boy makes 2 pair, we are going to see a pretty big pot. Taylor going to draw. Looking for an ace or 9, and there's the 9. No waiting. Makes the king high straight. Can he find value? And he, oh, what a disaster river for Bad boy. 2 pair. See if Taylor's going to be going for a nice chunky bet sizing here too. It looks like 2.25 million. Yeah, nice and chunky. Knows that Bad boy is going to have a big hand here when he calls. Makes the call with his 2 pair, and Taylor chipping up some more. Nice sizable pot too. Bad boy now stuck with just 10 big blinds. We are at the 125,000, 250,000 big blind level with a 250,000 big blind ante. Sean in the danger zone. Bad boy very close. Basically in the danger zone. We have 2 short stacks. Gabby with just 20 big blinds, 21 big blinds, and Ed and Taylor with heaps. The 2 big chip stacks just keep getting bigger. And that was just a cooler for Bad Boy. Rivering the 2 pair after Taylor had already made his straight. Ed with my personal favorite hand, 10-7 of hearts. Gonna hit the muck though. Terrible tournament hand. Gabby with ace deuce of diamonds on the button. Gonna raise it up for sure. Question is how big. Sean just hasn't been able to get any traction going. It feels terrible when people are getting all these monster hands. He's just not had a good run of cards. Look at him smiling though. That's what you love to see. Sean had a great tournament series for this poker tour. This is his 3rd final table, I believe. Great run. Closing it out with a main event win would be nasty. He's going to need a little bit of help to do that, though. Got some work to do.
What the heck?
Back playing now? You're back? Alright.
Gabby going to open up a wheel ace in late position. Sean, all in, finally finds a hand he can battle with. I think Gabby's just going to have to make this call. You're ahead of King, Queen, King, Jack, King 10 suited, Queen, Jack suited. All of these hands that he's forced to shove with, and you have 30% equity against most everything. We're just going to have to shrug our shoulders and flick in the call here and hope we win. As we can see, it's one of those 30% scenarios. And Sean going to need to fade a 3 or the wheel. In great shape for a double up. A much needed double up too. This would be huge.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm bad at that.
And here we go. It looks like the card readers have already picked up a 3. That is bad news for Sean. The best hand has not been holding up in these all-in situations. Sean now needing a 10 or a 4. 4 to chop it, 10 to scoop it. We'll chop it. That's a pretty good result. Does survive after getting domination rotation. But
That's unbelievable.
Sean
He did take care of it.
picking up, splitting the big blind with in the ante with Gabby. That's a pretty big win for him.
Corey's gonna take care of it. He flops the best in. Just look into that. But Corey, he did reprieve himself though with the chop on the river. So that's good.
Sean hanging on for dear life.
When you did that.
Finally gets a hand.
The way he did
At least he did not get eliminated. It does feel good there, not to be in such bad shape after the flop.
It's the life of the small stack.
Bad Boy needing to make something work now too.
Corey of these tournaments, right?
Never die.
Gabby gonna continue opening it. Gabby's really been the one getting the string of hands lately. See if Bad Boy finds anything he can give resistance with. Gonna make the call, severely dominated, but as we've been seeing, these dominated hands have been being defeated. Jack in the window. Straight draws for both players. Top pair for Gabby. Bad Boy thinking about just ripping. He's only got about a pot-sized bet left. A little over it. Gabby gonna go ahead and bet. Curious as to what sizing he chose. Chose 1 million or 2 million. Just bet all of it. I like it. Make Bad Boy call off for his tournament life. We can see that A smaller sizing would have been a little bit better, but it's okay. You want to make sure that you get the most from an 8 or a 9, regardless of runouts. If he has 10x, like 10-8, 10-9, you want to get it all. Even even Jack 10. Bad Boy and Sean desperately trying to make something happen. Ed gonna open this up for sure on the button. Let's see what sizing he wants to choose. If he wants to go the smaller sizing. Everyone's kind of settled to 550 is the opening sizing, regardless of position. Bad Boy's hand hits the muck and picks it up. Best hand. When both players fold, you usually know that Queen 10 off was the best hand on the button.
Looks like I missed a big one. Had to step further behind the scenes for a minute, but massive swings in these tournaments. It can be tough.
Bad Boy's going to need to find some momentum. Very soon, he's in the danger zone. Sean, same zone. And he's all in. Ace deuce off, that's good enough.
And the ace will do you.
We're five-handed. Accidental knocking over the chips. They're getting a count. Ed doing a courtesy. Let them get the count before he looks at his hand.
2,025,000. Yeah, 2,025,000.
10-6 not going to do it. Clean diaper not going to do it. Taylor with a hand he may consider calling with. Sean's going to be shoving incredibly light here. By incredibly light, I mean, I think any ace is going to be shoving here. Obviously, any two Broadway cards. We just have to hope we're live. And Taylor's willing to gamble. Makes the call. Really just trying to knock Sean out.
Yeah, decides he can afford it with a stack.
Sean at risk here. In a pretty great spot, actually. A 2-1 favorite. Almost. That's not good news. A 5
Yeah, just
on the flop.
peeked out
Yeah.
right in between the two flop cards.
An ace and not the ace of spades will save Sean now, drawing it to 2 outs and a straight for Taylor. Just like that, Sean is eliminated in 5th place. Good run, Sean. Great run, all tournament series. Eliminated for $19,260. And you can see the next player will receive $26,390. First place will be playing for $84,680. And now you can see Justin Hammer handing Sean the trophy for the PokerAtlas Tour Stop Player of the Series.
Congrats, Sean. Congrats.
Had the best run out of everybody for the series. Congratulations, Sean. Good run of events. Good run. Well done.
Yeah, as we said earlier, 3 for 3 for our final tables live streamed here this series. So great job to Sean. He gets another trophy to add to the one he won last weekend. What a pair of Atlas trophies.
Players inspecting what you can put in and talking about what you can put in the top. Candy. That's apparently everyone's go-to answer is candy. That's
I
what you
think
put in the trophy.
I could see myself putting small amounts of money in there. Not enough
Well,
for
but-
buy-ins, but you know, enough for candy.
Just save up your pennies now because they're going away.
I don't know. I'm a little nostalgic, but I don't think I'm gonna miss the penny. I don't need that in my
useless.
purse. Yeah.
Do you pick up pennies off the ground?
No, absolutely not. I don't stoop to. I don't pick up loose change. My knees are too bad to waste their lifetime energy on loose change.
And now we have the two chip leaders going at it, blind versus blind. Ed's gonna defend this ace, I imagine. We're four-handed. It is the worst ace in the deck. And based on the speech Ed gave just now, I imagine he's just leaning towards a fold. Doesn't want to, just doesn't want to battle.
Let you have this one. We'll play a bigger one next time.
Taylor chipping up real nicely, has sitting at 18 million. Boo in big danger. Bad boy is gonna need some help. Blinds are at 125,000, 250, 250.
He'll never forget this hand, man. You busted me up.
Gabby's got a little bit of a breathing
Best
room,
player.
but Taylor and Ed's just way out in front. They can take the hit. And just like you saw Taylor gambling with Sean's stack with the king 5 off, knowing that doubling Sean up wasn't going to be the end of the world. Taking that hit wasn't going to be the end of the world. I imagine they're going to be taking similar risks. Him and Ed take similar risks with Bad Boy.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think that there's. Oh,
Yeah.
he's in. Let's see what he has.
Bad
Does he
Boy is
paint?
all in with King Queen, and it looks like a quick call from Taylor with King 8. The best hands have not been holding up
Not even
in
close.
these all-in pre-flop situations. Bad Boy gonna need to fade an 8. A queen is a good start, but that's not a queen, so the card reader a little off.
Pretty side.
Taylor looking for an 8 now to eliminate Bad Boy. Ace of Spades, nice clean card for Bad Boy. It's gonna be rough, and just like that, a double up. Much needed. Now at 3.13 million. Not yet safe. Mitchell, I agree with that. I would not be folding that hand face up. I think an ace, blind versus blind, even ace 6 is very defendable. We're four-handed. It's hard to make a hand. You're in position. You can play. You're gonna take a lot of flops. You can even 3-bet it if you think you don't want to play it. Just 3-bet. It's gonna be the best hand often enough. I don't think it would have worked there, but I imagine Taylor's gonna be raising a lot of hands, blind versus you. Bad Boy doubling up and still the shortest stack by 3 million. Thanks again for everybody who's been joining us for this final table of the Poker Atlas Tour main event or title event here at Texas Card House Houston. Yeah, it should make Taylor be more aggressive. Bad Boy all in with Broadway Ace. Gabby asking for a count. This is blind versus blind. Ace 3 of diamonds. I wouldn't be shocked if he flicks in the call with this. We know Bad Boy is very capable of going all in with hands that this is ahead of right now.
3.1 million, 25,000. This is your blind, by the way.
Tough decision. If he had more chips, I think it would be a little
snap
bit
call,
easier.
yep.
Yeah.
Does make the call. Bad Boy at risk once again in this orbit, but now in great shape. 2-1 favorite with a Broadway ace. Let's see if you can fade some diamonds or a 3. That's a ace and a 3. Bad boy looking for a jack or a 10 now. Domination rotation all around in these spots. Jack, 6 or 10 of the outs for bad boy, or else he will be out in 4th. And no 10 means bad boy is eliminated here in 4th place for $26,390. Good run, Fu. Always glad to see him at these final tables.
Good player and
Great energy. Really aggressive player. Great run.
I knew it was the super.
Next player out will receive $38,520.
Called this, yeah, we called
First place taking home $84,680 plus the championship seat at the end of the year for the PokerAtlas Tour Championship event. 2.2K entry, $2 million guarantee at the Venetian in Las Vegas at the end of the year. Nice little extra thing at the end of the year to get.
Yeah,
To look forward
absolutely.
to.
Something to look forward to.
Then there were 3. Chip stacks are a little bit closer now. Gabby with 10 million is within fighting distance. Big hand on the button, 3-handed, ace jack.
You can pick Eric.
Gonna raise it up.
No, he can do way better. He can do way better.
It's still corny.
Gabby 3-betting the king jack out of the small blind. Ed's got a all 3 players have a jack. That's really hard to do.
Yeah. Nice job, Corey.
Yeah, no jacks coming likely. I don't think Ed is going to be folding this hand. The question is what does he want to do? Is call or 4-bet? Thinking it through, Taylor's already folded.
At a stage where, we're 3-handed, 2 industry, poker industry players left. So, every chip matters. If at any point somebody decides to stop and look at a deal, so.
Four bet by Ed, and our hand is now shriveled up drastically. King Jack off, looking pretty strong 3-handed, but versus a 4-bet, it's not great. It's going to be really hard to peel here. Yeah, just mucks it. Mucks the worst hand. It's okay. It's okay to 3-bet and fold, people. It feels really bad.
Nobody likes it, but it's better not to throw good money after bad.
Don't mind the 3-bet versus the button open, though.
Here's the deal.
Ed?
Here's the thing: is that you did a great job. He won a bunch of chips for someone else. I got a little. I'm happy.
Got a little bit of a reel forming. Some players that played this tournament sweating the action.
One of the problems with our stream setup is it's really to have an actual rail because there's no rail to be leaned on. So
Yeah, we kind of, it's right at the front of the room. It's a nice stage area, but not a lot of space right around there. So
Eric coming, and you can see the. I believe they set on the table the trophy that they will be playing for, a similar version to the one Sean received for his Player of the Series efforts. Another nice candy storage unit. or small change storage if you want to. They can get kind of heavy and loud.
Oh, yeah, that'd be rough. Just enough change to get you something for dinner.
I think the button got misread. Ed's currently in the big blind with 9-8. Yeah, Gabby opens the 10-3. The blinds are up, I believe it looks as well too, to 150,000, 300,000, 300,000. So that's a
Every jump in the blind.
wait, no,
significant.
not yet. I'm confused. This hand's got me all looked. Although I can tell you right now, Taylor's in a great spot, flopping top 2 pair, which you don't get to do very often, with 9-5. Ed with top pair, and the action checks through. Very surprising to see that. Gabby on the button with 10-3. Not gonna really put any more chips in this pot. Taylor is betting. I imagine Ed is going to call at least one street with his 9.
6 or 750.
875 is the bet. 3-handed middle pair still a little too strong to let go, especially when action checked through. And I don't believe Taylor was the pre-flop aggressor.
It's also double flush draw out there, so
This would be a very disciplined fold. Also kind of worried since Gabby opened the button, because Gabby could have a ton of kings. We don't have that here, Terry. I'm sorry to let you down. There's not going to be a person walking around with $85,000 in their hands, just bringing it to the table. I know people like the.
I mean, we could talk to production, take some applications since it was your idea, Terry. You get first option. Send in your application.
Do you want? I think what Shanice is saying is it's your job now.
Yeah, you got it. You're hired.
We can probably rustle someone up. King Jack for Taylor, gonna open this one for sure on the button.
King Jack on the button. Very welcome, 3-handed.
Wheel aces in the small blind, not so much. All the options are kind of on the table. 3-bet, fold, call. I don't like call very much, but it's still kind of there. Defending this one, we will be. 9-8 suited. Great one to look at. Especially with button raise ranges being so wide. Both players flopping a pair. Taylor way in the lead. Gonna continue betting for value. Goes really small. I like the sizing. Less than a third pot. Gets looked up by Gabby. Gabby looking for some help. Pretty good turn card for Taylor, all things considered. Action is going to check through. Taylor makes Broadway, cannot lose the hand. I wonder if Gabby is going to use this as a bluff card. 9 has very little showdown value. He does, and he's going to receive some very poor news. Very quick raise, too, from Taylor. And this is also just never a bluff.
He tried to slow it down a
yeah.
little bit, not to not set off the alarm bells, but Gabby, pretty sure he's folding here, but maybe just saving a little face.
Really trying to make sure that there aren't any bluffs. And I think based on the raise sizing and stack size, it's going to be very hard for there to be a bluff. Doing a little bit of inventory. Nine, definitely towards the bottom of our range. I guess 7-8 would probably be the worst hand we show up here with. We could easily just fold that. Don't have a lot of aces. Don't have a lot of. We do have several 2 pairs available. So if we were to consider calling, I'd much rather call with those.
It seems unlikely that Taylor would raise worse than 2 pair here, though.
I also think a lot of Taylor's natural bluffs would have bet the turn.
Right.
It seems such a such a terrible spot to risk such a large percentage of our stack with such a marginal hand on this board. Thinking it through, doesn't want to be wrong. Could just be saving face. Makes the fold. The rich get richer.
How it is these days.
America.
Everywhere. Taylor doesn't mind, though. Happy to keep on stacking. Steven, our floor man, saying that we're going to pause the clock. So it sounds like we're going to do a little chatting, a little negotiating.
We got one more hand, I think. And then they will be going on break. Yep. One more hand. Players will be going on a 5-minute break. Y'all have to listen to us more without watching the screen. Sorry. Well, I'm sorry for me. I'm not sorry for she. Shanice is nice.
Aw. It's in the name, you know. I wouldn't mind hearing some more of those wedding stories. DT's college days stories.
Some of those I cannot say on air. The last one was borderline. It's past the statute of limitations, so which is why I can.
Exactly.
Ace for Gabby. Blinds are up this hand. Or this just might be a larger sizing, actually. I'm so confused. No, it's just a larger sizing. I think blinds are up next hand. This looks like 3 betting chips. Doing some inventory. The solo ace by itself is the best hand right now.
Whatever this mystery card is.
Just rips it. I don't really hate this. Just don't let him see a flop with the king 10 offsuit, king jack offsuit. Just fold it out. He's not going to call it off there with those hands, I don't imagine.
Enjoy your 5 minutes, he says.
Yeah, I'm gonna reset the clock back to 5
Players do get a 5-minute break.
Correct. It'll be 153 on that.
5 minutes is not a lot of time to update the fans and use the restroom and wash your hands, but I think they will make it back.
It's enough time to do 2 of those things.
Right.
I'll let y'all decide what to get.
The one thing I do like about our setup here is that we do have like kind of like community sinks. So we have the men's and women's restroom. They kind of just open sinks in the middle. So it is a little bit of public shaming. It's hard to walk by
Oh yeah,
20 people without making a stop. So smart design.
I do like how they only give them 5 minutes, and the restrooms are about as far away as you can get from the stream table. It's the stone opposite of the end of the building.
Yeah, it's a ways away.
Mitchell, they're not talking numbers right now. They're just taking a bathroom break. This is a 5-minute schedule break. Since we're airing this live, we're not going to edit that out for y'all. We're just going to keep on rolling.
Yeah.
There's a 30-minute stream delay from what we're seeing what's actually happening.
And you never know if the players are talking to each other. They might be considering, hey, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? But we'll keep an eye on that. Right now, we still got plenty of play. Smallest stack still has over 20 blinds, so
Yeah, with the blinds going up, Gabby will have just at 22 big blinds. 150, 300, 300 are the next blind levels. I mean, there's tons of play at this stack depth. I like three-handed poker. I like three-handed. I love heads up. There's all sorts of things that happen that don't get to happen in full ring just due to the nature of full ring poker. You just need so much of a stronger hand in full ring, and when you're heads up three-handed, you don't. It's just so much harder to make a hand.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're playing hands that are at the low end of the range.
You're bluffing more often, which is I think the cooler part is you get to see people really open up and bluff.
Take that back. Take 10 minutes off. That was mine. I brought a barrel out. I had a barrel sitting out in the middle of the table. That's not his.
Oh, we got one player back.
18 now?
Yeah, 18 million.
Tracking for a while.
Jeez. I didn't realize that you mixed them together.
Taylor and 18 million 900,000.
Correct. 18 million.
Taylor's back.
5 million, 3.5, 4.
Players, you can see him talking. It's always interesting when numbers are this big
5 and 2 is 4.5.
to see what people will do. Some people like to play. Some people, I mean, this is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. I mean, and again, there's still play at this stack depth with just being three-handed, but I don't feel the need to sweat for 30K. Let's.
First place taking home $84,680. Second, $57,770. Third, $38,520. Big pay jumps in those in those numbers. I mean, these are
This is how we're playing, right?
these are quite big pay jumps. These are 5-figure pay jumps.
Understood. Understood.
First place also gets the $2,200 seat. I would imagine that players would at least have discussed it, in walking towards the bathroom. Someone might have said something.
Right. We do get chip counts at the end of, when the players go to break either way, but you never know if somebody could be plugging in numbers just to see.
Steven, our tournament director, doing all the work there.
All right, guys, come on back. Here we go. We'll start back up again.
Get started back again. New levels. I hope someone gets a beer. That looks like coffee. That's not what I wanted.
I'm pretty sure I have been fortunate enough to been with Gabby at an after tournament celebration, so he is an okay karaoke singer, but definitely a better poker player, which is good. Poker's more lucrative.
I find it hard to imagine that karaoke could be anywhere as lucrative as poker.
I mean, technically, I guess any musician is doing karaoke, but
No, I meant actual, like open mic, like where you put a tip jar out and.
yeah, no, here I don't think so. I think 85K at the top of a poker tournament is much better.
Did you know that Catman brought one of those pass around mics one time on our live stream and was trying to sing into it?
No, I don't think I was really watching TCH live regularly then, but
It was very early in our stream day, in our stream days, and we were trying to get everyone to sing, but no one other than Catman was singing it.
oh my goodness, I missed that stream. I should have been playing it.
Gabby coming right out of break with 2 jacks. Taylor with an ace. Gonna 3-bet it. Don't mind this at all. He's just run into it. See how Gabby wants to play it.
I assume fast.
I could see him going both ways. You really don't want him to fold a hand like this. But yeah, fast is the way it's going to get played. Obviously, if he knew Taylor would be 3-betting this light, he would go with a call.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he imagines Taylor's 3-betting a little bit narrower than this. A lot of hands in that range you're flipping with. And Taylor makes the call. Not giving him much thought. Looking for an ace. Gabby looking to hold.
So if Gabby can hold this hand, then all 3 players will basically be even in chips.
Mm-hmm.
So a big flip here.
No ace. Hearts covered for the jacks. Ace on the turn. That is disastrous. 1 jack left in the deck. And just like that, Taylor scoops a big one. Gabby will be eliminated in 3rd place. Taking home $38,520. Nice job, Gabby. Unfortunate, man. The big hands that are ahead have just not been holding up in these all-in spots.
Did one of the hands that was ahead hold up? Maybe one time, I think?
They chopped once.
Yeah.
I think Ace King held up once. And then I think the best hand chopped that one time was Sean.
Right.
And the other times it was just severe domination rotation.
Wow. Well, a tough beat for Gabby there. Again, one of the more experienced high-level tournament players in the field today. So, if he wins that hand and is even in chips, very dangerous.
Taylor
Made second 65, and first would go down to 7.
Taylor talking numbers now. With a 2-to-1 chip advantage too.
He should have
He has like
25,
20,000 or something.
25, 25, 6, I think.
They talking numbers.
13, 8, 2, 5. Before that, it minus
Terry, if I'm ever at a final table, regardless of the stakes, I'll get lit for y'all, just for y'all.
I need you.
And keep in mind, it only takes one drink for me to get lit.
Yes, I can verify that. he glows.
I glow, and I'm loud.
10 million, 12, 13.
Yeah, they're talking numbers right now.
We can do our own deal, man. I don't really care.
Taking a look at the numbers again, we got a difference of
27.
27. So what would be the number for you if you were Ed as the shorter stack? How
What-
much more would you need to go away at
Well,
this point?
so the thing is, these levels are still such that there's a ton of play. I don't know, truthfully. It sounded like Taylor offered 8 more.
Plus 76.80. So like 64, 150 or 64, 750.
Yeah,
Okay.
So what does ICM say? Just so it's close, I don't care.
I just told you, it was 26. Say it again, please.
I don't want to screw you if it's too big. If it's
6-2.
not.
it's interesting because if Taylor's offering me a better number than ICM, I'm like let's say ICM
That's probably about right.
has the second place at like 65, and he offers me 67.
66,331 and 75,400.
So 9,000. Is that what it was? So what are we doing with the seed and the? What
So
else?
we'll do that. I'll play it. If I end up working in oil field, you play it
Then
and
I'll
just go
play.
half.
Let's just go half. Perfect.
Okay, so that's the plan.
Wow, what a great deal. Okay.
That's a great deal.
60. What was it? 69.
60.
66.
They're gonna make. I mean, this is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it sounds like Ed is gonna.
And we'll chop the seed up. Okay.
They made a deal.
Wow. And just like that, sounds like this final table is over.
And the trophy will be going to Taylor.
what you're gonna do is don't bust them out yet, but when I get the numbers complete, we're gonna bust them out by order, which means you'll bust them out first and then you'll bust them out
Just let me know when,
second.
boss.
Okay? 'Cause
Yep,
he's
good,
actually gonna be the
good run by both of them. And there you have it, guys. They made a deal. Don't have the final numbers for you yet. This is what they split up.
It sounds like about 7 to 8,000 is coming off of that first place number, leaving Taylor with about 72. And Ed is going to,
Takes 65-ish.
yeah,
Yeah,
settle.
65. So Taylor's walk away with first place the trophy. And they agreed that if to somehow chop the seat up. But good job, everybody. Hope everyone had a great time with us on stream. Thanks for joining in again. And once again, congratulations to everyone who made the final table and had an incredibly deep run in this tournament. And thanks to everyone who came out for the whole tournament series. It was a great series. Great series. Can't wait to see y'all again.
Yeah, we were so happy to see so many of the great tournament players here in Houston coming. We had some folks coming from nearby in Texas, Nacogdoches, other places. So just really thankful to you guys for tuning in. And we'll see you at the next series.
See y'all later. Probably Thursday. Goodbye, everybody.